Here we go, episode 8, Don't Risk It TV. I'm Mick.
I'm David.
Well, today we're going to talk about the subject of bodyguarding.
Bodyguard, the grey man.
The grey man. Dave and I have worked, 20 years.
20
we worked
years
together,
yeah.
and we've done a lot of bodyguarding, CPP work together, and Dave's the president of IBA Australia. So I'll let you continue
Great position. On. Yeah, exciting topic. It's actually what got me into the industry 20 years ago, mate. We go through after reading a article in a magazine that fascinated me, and I thought, geez, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, that's it.
Joined the industry, and been lucky enough to have a really good career.
And of course, we haven't watched the Bodyguard movie and jumped through windows and stuff like that.
No, not for the last couple of weeks.
We get phone calls of people, I'd like a guard, but they've got to jump through windows, shoot the gun in the dark, and carry a sword, to which you have to say. Probably can't do that one.
Can't do that one. Yeah. Can't do that one. Yeah, we don't take our lead from Hollywood, as we say.
No, we don't.
Yeah, they got like rehearsals.
They do.
Yeah, we got real life.
True, very true. But bodyguarding, I mean, a lot of people out there in some areas aren't particularly suited to it.
Definitely, it takes a certain individual.
It really does.
Yeah, and a lot of security personnel believe they can change over from a crowd controller to a security guard into the bodyguard field, but it does take some skill sets.
It does, and I mean, not just the bodyguarding itself. I mean, I've done a lot of CP jobs where it's the driving the $1 million car with a client on board.
Yes.
How do we drive a car smoothly?
Yes.
Know where you're going. That's always handy.
Protective driving. Local knowledge.
Yeah.
Local laws. Yeah,
local laws. I mean, you always get with the, yes, I was the bodyguard to the United States president. And you go, no, you weren't. The Secret Service were. You were just the guy to open the gate in Australia.
Open the door, yeah.
Because you were the local guy on the ground that actually had the license. Yes. And you might end up working with a team from overseas or team for interstate. But you're the local guy on the ground.
That's it. Local knowledge.
Local knowledge.
It does help, and it is part of what we do.
Absolutely.
Any time that I switch from state to state to do some work, and that I'm always looking to pick up the local.
Well, you've got to
show me around.
You've got to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more embarrassing with a client, and all of a sudden you've gone up a one-way street or something because you don't know where you're going.
That's it.
So being the local guy on the ground, or having that local guy on the ground with you.
Yeah. And you made a good point about a bodyguard driver. It is such a specialist area.
Absolutely.
That goes through, and it does change from being the VIP driver to the chase car or the security driver.
That's right.
It's more offensive versus defensive type of driver.
I mean, I can think of an example. I drove Muhammad Ali around, but the car we're in was a $1.5 million car.
Yes.
A couple of days of getting used to the car before I put the client on board.
The handling of the vehicle.
And it was very nice to drive, I must say.
Could imagine. And a good client.
A great client. He's passed away nowadays.
Yes.
But a great client, yeah. But as you're saying, chase car. If we're going to have an executive or a client in a lead car, well, who's the support vehicle? What equipment do you need in the support vehicle? What do they have? PAs that need to be transported around.
That's it. Yeah, people with them. Other business
entourage.
People. Entourage.
That's it. Entourage.
Support people.
That's it.
Media personnel. You've got to go through, as you said, PAs.
Or you're looking after a client, and we've got so many meetings to go to, appointments to get to. What's the schedule that we have to keep to, and maybe kind of nudge along a bit to the client that we need to get on the road and get to the
advisors are always
the advisors.
The advisors.
Yes.
They go through. But then you have your jobs like where you're in.
Yes, absolutely.
One bodyguard, one client, a solo job with your principal, and you're jack of all trades.
Absolutely.
And you need the skills to be able to do that.
And it can vary. We just talk about, Muhammad Ali, the president, all kind of great stuff. But what about the person that needs some protection to get to court?
Yeah, 100%.
Because family violence matter. Yeah. We're not actually security, we're not a crowd controller, we're actually bodyguarding that person.
And unfortunately, Mike, it is a situation that is on the increase.
It is.
I know personally over the last couple of years, I had to do court escorts, weddings,
weddings,
certain people that weren't invited, funeral, unfortunately.
But the clientele's always quiet on that one.
That's it. Separating families.
Yes.
When there's a lot going on there, and said there's a lot of bodyguarding at a local level, with Ma and Pa kettle, as we say. You're not always with executives, and movie stars and all that. Even racehorses, Mike.
Even racehorses, yes. Even racehorses.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, that's right. So it's this interesting field. A lot of people have, they watch the Bodyguard movie and they think it's all this glitz and glamour, and,
Yes.
and it's not. It's not even close.
Yeah, a lot of students said not only actively working operationally in the industry, I actually teach at the local level for state licensing in Victoria, the Bodyguard licensing. And I know a lot of the students are kind of, when are we doing the private jet? When are we doing the red carpet? And,
when are we up in the chopper?
When are we up in the chopper? And I said, no, bodyguard, and go stand next to that door for the next 3 hours.
That's it.
And a lot of people don't understand. As a bodyguard, we probably spend 90% of our time waiting for somebody else.
Well, you look, AGMs. A lot of corporate work with AGMs. Sit in the audience. Sit close to the
anticipation.
The
yeah, and a lot of it, is based on our skill sets. Yeah, and one of our key skill sets for security across the board is those observation skills, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and even more so when you're moving into the risk management areas of armed guarding, cash in transit, and bodyguarding. Keeping that vision and being in a position that maximises your observation of the current workplace.
That's right. I mean, just good on there with the risk management. You know, we're going to do, say, a major company AGM. You're not going to roll up there on the day. You're going to be there a few days earlier. You're going to be interacting with, we'll say it's at a very swish hotel. You're going to interact with their security manager, their security teams. You're going to be looking at the whole venue. So, you know, what's our concierge? We're going to be, what's our entry points, what's our exit points, what's our emergencies, what's the plan A, what's the plan B.
That's it. Safe rooms.
Safe rooms. What are we going on here? You know, and then, what if the venue moves? Well, we've done a risk assessment on this venue. Well, we're going to do it another one. We're going to back up.
And this is what I kind of consider a big difference in the bodyguarding from the local security, because the local security just believes a bodyguard, you cannot stand around or you just follow somebody around. Yeah. There's a lot to it.
Or look, I'll be honest. In the past, I've had the person looks really good with the earpiece and the sunglasses and a really nice suit.
The MIBs, we say.
Yeah, the MIB.
The men in black.
And you'll stand them over there, so everyone looks at that person, and the real bodyguard is the one standing over there.
The grey man.
The grey man, absolutely.
Seen but not noticed, mate.
Absolutely. You part of IBA. Obviously, IBA is the International Bodyguard Association.
It's actually we've just gone over 60 years last year, Mike, which is the largest association in the world with a bodyguard.
It is.
It was founded in Paris in 1957 by Major Lucien Knott, and as a think tank, a bit like what we've done over the last 20 years.
That's it.
Just for people to come together and discuss it. When Lucien founded the IBA, by working as a bodyguard himself, he kind of realised that not too many people knew what they were doing. A lot of ex-military and ex-policing were in it. And
I mean, just because you're in the military, you might have been the cook.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the transport driver.
I worked for Steven Seagal, but
Steven Seagal.
Just the cook.
Yeah.
So he founded the IBA as a think tank, and people were able to come together and swap ideas and come up with some different procedures. And it grew legs. Obviously, as I said, we've been around for 60 years, and through that, Lucien created the Lucien Knott method of bodyguarding, is what we teach through the IBA. And we've been in Australia since I think it was 1994, when Tony Saluski, the former president, brought it out to IBA, and I was fortunate enough to join in 1998.
Yeah, well back.
1999 to be exact.
99, yeah.
So just coming up to me 20 years.
Yeah. And then you have the Director General comes out.
Yes, James Short, fantastic man.
He's
a kind of guy that I've always said, from the day when I met him 20 years ago, I just want to plug my laptop into him and download him.
That's it.
A guy that travels internationally throughout the year, and the experiences there. And I was lucky enough to bring him out to Australia last year for the program, and hoping in the future that he'll be coming back.
Now you've got some programs coming up.
Soon. We run courses annually, so we've always got a program around the corner. So I've got one coming up pretty soon.
Now the courses, you've got a basic program and then advanced program.
Yeah, we actually have two programs. The basic one, we look at hours of training.
Yes.
Yeah, and after a certain amount of hours behind you, then you can start to
building up your
refer to yourself. A lot of people might do the local licensing course containing 32 hours of training.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you think, oh, I'm a bodyguard. You may have a couple of basic bodyguard skills.
Some concepts.
We'll say
concepts,
but it takes a long time to be a bodyguard. And
that's right.
The look I get on a lot of the students when I kind of say, I can't turn you into a bodyguard in 4 days, they get a bit deflated. But then after the 4 days, they kind of look at you and go, yep, I understand what you're talking about now.
I mean, just the simple planning of it. It's going to take you longer than 4 days to learn how to do it.
But at the same time, we're always looking, what's your other skill sets, Mike? You know, bring your security background.
Absolutely.
If you've got a background in risk management, advanced cert, surveys, guarding and crowd control for those types of events there.
Or look at those other skills, like e.g. the driving skill.
Driving skills.
Can you, do you drive? Do you have a license?
That always helps. That always helps. But also you look at, there's advanced driving courses. And I've been fortunate enough to do 2 of the Bodyguard advanced driving courses at Sandown Park, which are fantastic skills.
Oh, great courses.
Not only for the Bodyguard work I've done, but it's got me out of trouble a few times myself out in the street, mate.
True. We're close to time for this episode.
This episode's been fun.
Thanks for coming in today.
No problems.
And we'll talk about this more in the future.
We'll cover that.
If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much.